Welcome to Shades of Brown. This highlights on the many issues affecting Africans and people of African descent. I'm your host, Ramatu Adao Chekliye. Hi guys, after months and months of preparation, we're finally here. It's finally happening. I'm so excited, and I want to use this opportunity to welcome you to my vlog. I am Ramatu Adao Chekliye. I'm a writer and a freelance radio and television presenter. In addition, I'm an aspiring actor and director. I grew up in a family that struggled to stay together. In the end, the struggle was pointless. My parents divorced and the family split when I was 11. It was hard coming from that background. I was ashamed of my history. I felt like my family issue was isolated until I met many people who shared similar stories. When I met these people, I realized that every family had their own forms of dysfunction, and my story was not isolated at all. In fact, I learned that many of my friends and neighbors had it worse than I did. I wasn't even 7 when I started to realize what made me tick. I got angry at the forms of dysfunction I was seeing in society, though at that point I didn't know that word at that time. It's a big word, isn't it? As I was introduced to society, I couldn't help but notice that girls were expected to act differently from boys. We weren't expected to do well in school, and even if we did, we had to remember that no matter how much we achieved, we were nothing if we didn't marry. It seemed that society wanted to stifle us and keep us grounded, and it also seemed like society felt only men had the ability to do that for us. This pushed me to want to do what men did. I went into the sciences because sciences were for boys. I played football in secondary school, even though it was a man's sport. I had only male friends because girls are dumb. All they do is gossip. They have fish brain. They don't think. They're materialistic. Yada, yada, yada. In fact, I was an honorary boy. I didn't wear makeup. I never primped my hair. I always wore trousers. I laughed at girls who cried because I didn't cry. And best of all, I walked like a boy. I had that bounce that said, "Come get me." Society couldn't understand me, and so emissaries were sent to me to tell me to be more like a girl if I was ever to be married, to stop talking down to men or get beaten, to stop having only male friends or be labeled a prostitute, and my all-time favorite, to stop being ambitious as I was going to end up in a man's kitchen. I realized that I was boyish because society only put premium on men. I played football so I wouldn't be categorized among the feeble sex. I studied sciences to show those girls, and I let my mouth be so potted I definitely couldn't be termed a girl. In spite of all that, society refused to say anything but my gender, and I got fed up. Each turn I took was another placard of ingrained ideology telling me to conform or be booted out. In another instance, I kept reading of an Africa I didn't see around me. An Africa where there was only poverty, hunger, illiteracy, disease, famine, war, and white dependency. Yes, there were elements of this in my communities, but those were not all I saw. I saw wealth, satiation, education, health, abundance, peace, communal dependence. I saw all of this. Why then did most media, especially white media stations, only project the negatives of our beautiful continent? And why was our society so willing to accept the white man's view of our essence, our worth, and our collective importance? These prevailing issues bugged me so much so that I kicked against society. I decided to have my own femininity, to be a girl, and to rock at it. I was no longer going to be ashamed of being a girl. I decided that girls could be sensible, intelligent, just as boys can be, and in some cases, more. I realized that my worth was not in my last name, marital status, or a tiny ring on my left finger. My worth is in me, in my ability to harness my capabilities to be the best person I can be, in my ability to be athletic and still feminine, in my ability to love my natural hair and not seek to straighten it to make it less kinky, nappy, bushy, or local. I realized that I didn't have to wear tons of makeup or bleach my skin. I'm okay with being me. I'm a fat black girl with thick lips, natural hair, and an awesome personality. And if you don't like any of my physical attributes, I don't see how that is my problem. When I came to this realization, I wanted to share it with as many people as I could. I wanted to be accepting of people, yet inspiring enough to get them to love themselves. I started a blog called Shades of Brown to talk about such issues. I chose the name because the black race is the most diverse of all races, as can be seen in our skin tones. From Mariah Carey to Alec Weck, our skin tones are as glorious as we are beautiful. I use fiction and non-fiction to communicate to my racial family. The opportunity to share my views on what's happening to us and around us has been very satisfying and fulfilling. The reviews have been great, and I've had personal messages about how I have inspired many people. That is why I write. I'm a long-winded writer, and I know many people hate to read long articles. While I know there are many people who will read my blog no matter how long, I know there are still many who wouldn't. So I decided to branch out and increase my sphere of influence. Some people love to listen to other people talk, and some people like to watch others do their thing. Knowing this, I started my podcast, which is also called Shades of Brown, on Podbean, and today I'm starting my vlog on YouTube, so you can choose the best option. The podcast and the vlog will be an audio and video representation of my blog, and I hope to get you to listen in, to watch, and to be a part of my story, of our collective stories. Here are platforms where I express myself. I'm on Facebook as Ochekliye Ramatu Ada, that is Ochekliye, that is Ochekliye Ramatu Ada. And on Twitter, I am at Remimah, Ramimah, and on Instagram at Miss_Remimah. My blog, podcast, and vlog are called Shades of Brown and can be found at shadesofbrownnigeria.blogspot.com for the blog, shadesofbrownnigeria.podbean.com for the podcast, and the vlog is on YouTube. But you could type my name, Ramatu Ada Ochekliye, and you get the vlog. If you have a story to share, a story you want me to talk about, or just questions and inquiries, you can send a mail to ochekliye@gmail.com or ramatuadaochekliye@yahoo.com. If you're interested in our African story, I urge you to subscribe to my blog, my podcast, and vlog. I hope you let me grow on you as we spread out our hope for our continent. Welcome to the official launch, and thank you for being a part of this journey. Thank you, T.S. Raphael, for making this happen. You're awesome. I'm really grateful. And I want to say I will be with you next week. Bye, yeah.
That's all for this week. Subscribe to the channel for more of Shades of Brown. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/Ochekliye Ramatu Ada. I'm on Facebook at Ochekliye Ramatu Ada, on Twitter at Remimah, that is at Ramimah, and on Instagram at Miss_Remimah. You can also follow my blog at www.shadesofbrownnigeria.blogspot.com. For inquiries, mail me at ochekliyeramatuada@gmail.com or ramatuadaochekliye@yahoo.com. Talk to you next time. Bye.